You know what? I need to ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. When was the last time you felt genuinely powerful? Not just confident in the moment, not just I got through that meeting okay, but truly, deeply powerful. That feeling where every cell in your body is humming with certainty, where you know without question that you belong exactly where you are. Can you remember it? For some of you, it might have been yesterday. For others, it might have been years ago. And for some of you, you're sitting there thinking, I'm not sure I've ever felt that way. And if that's you, that's exactly why we're here today. Because here's what I've realized. We've been sold a version of confidence that was never meant to work for us. We've been handed this glossy magazine version of what a confident woman looks like, perfectly put together, never flustered, always 3 steps ahead, juggling it all with a smile and those incredible shoes. And we've been trying to fit ourselves into that image, wondering why we keep falling short, why we're so exhausted, why it never quite feels real. That's because it isn't real. It's performance art. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of performing. Today, we're not here to learn how to be confident. We're here to remember that we already are. We're here to strip away the layers of should and supposed to and not enough that we've been carrying around like invisible armor. And here's the beautiful, terrifying truth. That armor isn't protecting us. It's weighing us down. So let's set it down. Together. Right now. Let's start with something we've all been taught. Be strong. Don't let them see you sweat. Keep it together. Never let them see you cry. I want to tell you about the moment I realized that entire philosophy was backwards. I was in a meeting once, a big one, the kind where you've prepared for days, and someone asked me a question I didn't have the answer to. And I felt it rising in my chest, that panic, that voice screaming you should know this. Everyone's going to realize you're a fraud. And for a split second, I did what I'd always done. I started to fake it. I opened my mouth to give some vague, impressive-sounding non-answer. And then something shifted. Maybe I was just too tired to keep up the act. Maybe I'd finally hit my limit. But instead, I said 3 words I'd spent my entire career avoiding. I don't know. The room went quiet. I braced myself for the judgment, the dismissal, the confirmation of every fear I'd been carrying. Instead, someone said, "Okay, so let's figure it out together." That's when I understood. What I thought was weakness was actually the strongest thing I'd ever done. We think strength is about never cracking, never bending, never admitting we're struggling. But think about trees for a second. The ones that survive the fiercest storms aren't the rigid ones that refuse to bend, those snap. The survivors are the ones with deep roots and flexible trunks, the ones that can sway in hurricane winds and still stand when the storm passes. That's real strength. Not the statue that looks impressive but shatters under pressure. The tree that bends, that absorbs the impact, that survives. And you want to know what the most powerful word in your vocabulary is? It's not yes. It's no. I know. We've been taught that saying no makes us difficult, uncooperative, not a team player. Especially as women. We're supposed to be accommodating, flexible, endlessly available. We're supposed to squeeze ourselves into whatever shape the situation requires and smile while we do it. But here's what nobody tells you. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're teaching yourself that your needs don't matter. You're sending a message to your own nervous system that everyone else's comfort is more important than your own peace. And you can only do that so many times before you start to disappear, even to yourself. When you say no, clearly, kindly, firmly, you're not being selfish. You're being wise. You're saying, I only have so much energy, and I'm going to invest it in things that matter to me. You're drawing a line around yourself that says, this is where I begin, and I'm worth protecting. Every no to something that drains you is a yes to something that sustains you. Your passion, your rest, your sanity, your dreams. And that's not selfish. That's survival. That's power. All right, let's talk about the thing that's probably holding you back more than anything else. The belief that if you can't do it perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. Perfectionism. It sounds so noble, doesn't it? I just have high standards. I care about quality. But let me tell you what perfectionism really is. It's fear wearing a very convincing disguise. It's fear of judgment, fear of criticism, fear of being exposed as not quite good enough. And it keeps us stuck in planning mode, in preparation mode, in I'll start when I'm ready mode, except we never feel ready because perfectionism keeps moving the goalpost. I used to think I needed to have everything figured out before I started. The perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect skills. I would see other people launching things, businesses, books, projects, and think, they must know something I don't. They must be more prepared than me. Then I learned something that changed everything. Everyone who's ever done anything significant did it before they felt ready. They did it messy. They did it scared. They did it with typos in their proposal and doubt in their hearts. The difference between people who achieve things and people who plan to achieve things isn't talent. It's not brilliance. It's not perfect preparation. It's the willingness to be bad at something before they get good at it. There's this phase I call the messy middle, that uncomfortable space between I have an idea and I've mastered this. It's awkward. It's humbling. You make mistakes. You look foolish sometimes. And it is absolutely, completely unavoidable. The only way to get through the messy middle is to go through the messy middle. So here's what I need you to understand. Progress always beats perfection. Always. That means you walk into rooms where you feel unqualified, and you take up space anyway. You speak up even when your voice shakes. You hit publish even though you spotted 3 things you'd change. You launch at 80% because 80% out in the world beats 100% stuck in your head every single time. The world doesn't need your perfect contribution. It needs your contribution. Period. Your voice. Your perspective. Your weird, specific, beautifully imperfect take on things. You are not waiting for permission anymore. You are already authorized. The moment you start acting like it, everything changes. Now let's talk about that voice in your head. You know the one I mean. The one that's been providing running commentary on everything you do for as long as you can remember. That was stupid. Everyone's judging you. You're not qualified for this. Who do you think you are? We call her the inner critic, and she is relentless. She's an expert at finding flaws. She can turn a 99% successful day into a catastrophe because of that one tiny mistake. She takes every piece of external criticism and amplifies it into a megaphone. But here's what you need to know about her. She's not your enemy. She's not even real. She's a recording. She's a collection of every criticism, every doubt, every moment of judgment you've ever absorbed, all playing on repeat. And you can turn her off. Or better yet, you can replace her. Fire your inner critic. Hire an inner champion instead. Your inner champion doesn't lie to you. She doesn't tell you you're perfect when you're not. But she reframes everything through the lens of growth instead of judgment. When the critic says, "You failed, you're terrible at this," the champion says, "You tried something hard and it didn't work out this time." That's called learning. When the critic says, "Everyone else is more qualified than you," the champion says, "I bring a unique perspective that only I have. I'm here to contribute what I know and discover what I don't." This is how you build real inner authority, not by becoming perfect, but by becoming your own source of validation. Stop measuring your worth by external metrics. The promotions, the followers, the approval. Those things are all fine, but they're not your foundation. Because anything built on external validation can be taken away. Instead, ask yourself integrity questions. Did I show up today as the person I want to be? Did I honor my commitments to myself? Did I move toward something that matters to me? When your confidence is built on your own integrity, nobody can shake it. People can dismiss your work, but they can't erase your effort. They can doubt your abilities, but they can't touch your self-respect. Your worth is not up for negotiation. It's not determined by your productivity or your appearance or whether people like you. It's inherent. It was there when you were born and it'll be there when you die, and nothing in between can change it. When you truly believe that, not just intellectually, but in your bones, you become unshakable. Here's something I wish someone had told me earlier. Confidence doesn't show up and then you take action. It works the other way around. You take action, and then confidence follows. It's what I call the confidence loop, and it works like this. You take a small step, even though you're scared. You do the thing, even though it's imperfect. That action builds a tiny bit of competence. And that competence creates proof that you can do hard things. That proof generates confidence. And that confidence fuels the next, bigger action. Action. Competence. Confidence. Repeat. But here's the key. You have to start small enough that you'll actually do it. Don't aim for the marathon if you haven't run in years. Aim for the 10-minute walk. Don't aim for the perfect novel. Aim for the messy paragraph. Don't aim to dominate the presentation. Aim to speak up once during the meeting. These are what I call micro-victories, and they're everything. Because every single time you do what you said you would do, even something tiny, you're proving to yourself that you're someone who follows through. You're rewiring your self-concept from I'm the person who plans to I'm the person who does. And please stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. That woman who seems to have it all figured out. You're seeing her highlight reel, not her behind-the-scenes footage. You don't see the failures she survived to get there. You don't see the late nights, the rejections, the moment she wanted to quit. Your journey is yours alone. Celebrate other women, absolutely. But then immediately return your focus to your own lane. There is so much power in simply being present in your own unfolding, without constantly measuring it against someone else's. Before we close, I need to talk about something that might be the most important part of all of this. We don't do this alone. For so long, we've been fed this lie that there's only one seat at the table for women. That we're competing with each other for scraps. That another woman's success somehow diminishes our own. That is complete and total nonsense, and I need you to reject it completely. When you lift up another woman, you don't dim your own light. You illuminate the whole room. We rise together, or we don't rise at all. Here's what that looks like in practice. When you see a woman doing exceptional work, don't stay silent. Acknowledge it. Amplify her voice. Make the introduction that could change her career. Recommend her for the opportunity. Tag her in the post. Say her name in the rooms she's not in yet. You are both a mentor and a student, always. There are women ahead of you who can show you the path, and there are women behind you who need you to reach back and pull them forward. Your experience, yes, even your failures, are a valuable map for someone else. And when a woman is vulnerable with you, hold space for her. Listen without judgment. Offer support, not unsolicited advice. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just witness someone else's struggle and say, I see you. You're not alone in this. When we show up for each other as a genuine, unified force, not as competitors but as collaborators, not as rivals but as sisters, we become absolutely unstoppable. Your confidence isn't just for you. It's a lighthouse for every woman who's watching, wondering if she can do it too. When you step into your power, you give permission to everyone around you to do the same. So let me bring this home. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's not a personality trait. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. Today, you're walking out of here with a new mandate. Embrace your no. Protect your energy like the precious resource it is. Choose progress over perfection, every single time. Start before you're ready. Fire your inner critic. Hire your inner champion. Build your confidence on the unshakable foundation of your own integrity. Take micro-actions toward the life you want. Prove to yourself, one small step at a time, that you are someone who shows up. And lift other women as you rise. We're not competing. We're collaborating on something much bigger than any of us alone. Your greatest asset is not your credentials or your accomplishments. It's your inherent, resilient, absolutely magnificent spirit. That wild, powerful thing in you that's been waiting, sometimes your whole life, for permission to fully emerge. Stop negotiating your worth. Stop playing small. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you you're ready. You were born ready. You've always been ready. And your time is now. So go out there and be the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. Trust your instincts. Honor your journey. And remember, the world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence. Thank you.